Hello, this is Dan, DK Excavating, here at 3120 Bent, yes, 3120 Bent Avenue. Going through a two-way clean out in the backyard. Taking a look at the sewer here because definitely got some problems. Right now, after much work, I finally got this thing all the way out to what I believe is the tap. I located this right in the center of the alley, about 8 foot deep. The majority of this line looks like it is Orangeburg, and it's in really rough shape. I'll go ahead and start pulling back. You don't have to go too far, just a couple feet, maybe 3 feet, and that's where we transition. That was about all the PVC that's in this line, except for where the cleanouts are. And this looks like some kind of clean out right here in the alley. I'm not really sure what the heck that is. I would be interested to know if maybe there's another house tying into that, but that is in the lateral, it's not in the main, so it's really hard to say. But you can see there's something in the top of that pipe just out of view. It's really difficult to get this thing forward, so that's kind of how I had to push this whole thing down about an inch at a time sometimes. It's actually going not too bad right now, but you can see at the top of that pipe right there, there's definitely something there. Why? I don't know if it was just a fitting that they needed and they capped it, or if there's actually a clean out. But that's kind of on the edge of the alley. So anyway, to move on back, this is Orangeburg. Usually those fittings in Orangeburg are steel, but the pipe itself, I believe, is Orangeburg. It's got a lot of bumps and squishes and stuff. Right here it's not as bad as some of the other areas, but anytime I see Orangeburg, definitely recommend it to be replaced. You can see we got some bumps on the bottom there. There's really some debris. There's some, it looks like that's probably a steel coupling to put the two pieces together. It's a little bit out of shape. There's some bumps on the bottom. As we get closer to the trees, the bumps get a lot worse, and we have several holes in the pipe. See, it's out of shape on the right side. Probably tree roots trying to grow in on the pipe, and the pipe just can't hold up to it whatsoever. They're bumps now, but it will become holes in the pipe, especially if this gets snaked. Orangeburg can't really withstand being snaked very many times. It'll just flake off and crumble. Got some tree roots here, and you can see the pipe is trying to collapse in right there on that top part right there. Keep coming back. A lot of debris in this pipe. Right here we got some more issues on the bottom of the pipe. We got some debris. We got some bumps in the pipe. This section isn't as bad, but I still think it would probably not pass an inspection. I don't really do inspections, I just give my opinion, but if this is my house, I'd want it all done. Let's see, here's some more bumps. You can see how that pipe just kind of folds in when it starts to have problems. So kind of just to give you an idea where this pipe is, we're back already about 50 feet, but there's a big concrete patio, and somehow it lucked out, but there's this pipe follows right next to the patio, probably about a foot off the patio, and then it gets just to the end of the patio and it cuts back another direction. That's where we're starting to cut, and it's right in front of this tree. Kind of angle over. It's really difficult to get past this area because of all the debris, chunks of pipe, and missing pipe in this section. You can just see the dirt and everything, the tree roots. I honestly don't know how this pipe hasn't collapsed completely, but there's some chunks of pipe on the bottom along with these fittings right there. But yeah, we got a couple elbows right there to transition. We'll come back for a short bit and we'll transition back straight. There we go, transitioning back straight. And now it's a straight shot pretty much from here all the way to the back of the house, right below the electrical meters. Keep come back so you can see this pipe is more out of shape right there. Pretty typical for Orangeburg to see this pipe just does not hold up. Lots of bad spots in this pipe. If I was to give a recommendation, I would replace all of the Orangeburg in this line. Terrible offset and a hole in the pipe there. Coming back, another offset, another hole in the pipe. And here's PVC. So this is our clean out, which isn't very far from the back door, but we've got a transition for our clean out right here before we start pulling up. We'll pull up this clean out. This is the more eastward clean out that goes to the back, and now we're going to pop out of this clean out and into the other clean out, which goes back toward the house instead of the back of the alley. This one's offset a little bit, so it's not perfectly in line with the pipe. It kind of angles over. Oh, that's lovely. It's like we got some friends down in the pipe. Excuse me. But we quickly transition back into this section. Could be like a PVC, but then we go back into like another bad offset, some more Orangeburg, and a big old hole right there. I'll push past that just a little bit, and there's a lot of leaves and stuff. And I think we're already in the transition, but it does transition to cast iron. Or not quite there. A little bit further. Right there. Now we're in a cast iron. Cast iron's a little bumpy, but it does seem to be holding up as far as I can tell. It's hard to say with all the leaves and debris that's in the line. To get a good look at the cast iron, this thing would have to be probably jetted out and cleaned. But where this transition, I have to pull back slowly. There it is right there. You can see the ring right there. That's the transition and the color of the change of pipe. This spot is about 5 feet deep, and it's probably about 3 feet from the foundation wall, pretty much straight underneath the electrical service panel, but underneath some concrete. But this is where it transitions, and not sure what it looks like in the house much past this, but this is where I would start. So anyways, hope that helps. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.